It's me, yours truly, Beverly Sherelle Johnson, lifestyle health coach and consultant, registered nurse for over 33 years, known as the Uncommon Flexitarian and the creator of Eat What. Eat What is my weekly program that gives you resourceful information and education as to the many USDA and FDA food safety and health concerns. Now, I just don't wish to alarm you, but I also wish to give you solutions, concrete solutions to build your immunity, to build your overall health so that you look good, feel good, and have a more positive outlook on life. Welcome. Welcome to another edition of Eat What. Now, if you're seeing us live, it is because we have expanded our platform for the next few weeks so that others can see what we're doing here at Eat What. As I explained, Eat What is a program that airs weekly, and we talk about many of the USDA and FDA food safety and health concerns. But we also dive into topics of interest so that we can more skillfully garner our food fare. We can watch what we're eating. And it doesn't matter if you are a vegetarian, vegan, flexitarian, or just eat it all. There's always something that you can gain from our program. And we just make that information available to everyone. So for the next few weeks, you will be seeing us live. Now, if you desire to join Eat What, you may do so by getting in contact with me. Direct message me at Beverly Sherelle Johnson. Sherelle is spelled Cherelle, or you may contact me at betterlivingwithplants@gmail.com. You may also find me at One Plate, One Planet on Twitter. Now, today's topic, and let me just tell you really briefly about the benefits of membership. If you become a member of Eat What in our private Facebook group, then what you will experience is that you will have access to everything that we have discussed on video and in articles shared, so that, of course, you may garner your own immunity and your own health and receive helpful tips so that you can pass along to your friends, pass along to your family members, and of course, improve your own health. Everything is in the members area in our private Facebook group. Now, today's topic is more fishy facts about fish. And the fish we're talking about today is the ever popular tilapia fish. Tilapia fish. All right. And why are we discussing fish? Well, this is the fall season. The fall season is a time where we consume fish. Fish are great all year round, but in the fall, as we were mentioning last week, we turn our thoughts to eating warmer meals. And of course, we're talking about fish. Fish is on the market, and tilapia is just one of those fish that many enjoy to eat. But tilapia has a lot of controversy around it, let's say. Has a lot of controversy. So we want to talk today about what is all of this talk about tilapia. All righty, tilapia. Is it a demonized fish? Is it a man-made fish? Is it genetically engineered? All right, is tilapia an all-natural fish here when all other fish were created? These are the things that we're going to talk about today. Well, in discussing tilapia as our subject matter, what do we know about tilapia? Let's just begin there. Let's just talk about what do we actually know about tilapia. Well, first of all, the name tilapia itself. Now, you might think of only one fish, but that is incorrect. According to research, and I'm talking about research, not necessarily all from the fish industry, because of course they would desire you to eat more tilapia, more fish, things such as that. But this is research that is scientifically based, biologically based, and there are other persons of interest that have weighed in on this. When it comes to the name tilapia, tilapia is not just the name of one fish, it is the name of hundreds of species of fish. Now, that is according to, like I said, research, biologically, scientifically centered. All right. And you can find such facts as this at factretriever.com. And the article referenced there is by Karen Leonard. And she explains in very, very well and very, very succinctly how the tilape name is a genus name, that is a family name, such as what your surname would be. My last name is Johnson. Okay, so my family name is Johnson. All righty, that just gives access to a whole family of worth of people. So in tilapia, the name is a genus name, a family name, and it just does not describe one fish, that fish that you see in your marketplace. Now, the name tilapia is also a derivative of, let you know that it is derivative of the cichlid family. That's CICHLID. I'm sorry, cichlid family. Now that is more of a specific type of fish family, and this fish was named tilapia as from the South Africans in Botswana. Fish in their name in Tswana, fish in Tswana, and that is the Bantu speaking people of Botswana. Fish in that language is tilape. Okay, tilape. So that just answers really quickly one question. Really quickly answers one question. Where are we getting this fish from? The fish was first named in Botswana, okay, by the Bantu speaking people of that area, and their name for fish in their language is tilape. So this describes, again, many fish that were in that area. Now, so that just lets you know that this is thousands upon thousands of years of history here, and not lab generated. So tilapia, that's one myth that's dispelled. It's not a lab generated fish, just by these facts that we're learning right here. Now, also, we have also seen tilapia on ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. They have come in pictures. They have been painted in pictures. They have been identified even in Egyptian writings as this particular fish, the tilapia, this particular family of fish were the fish that were supposed to carry you to the sun. Remember the Egyptians, Egyptology, they teach that once you're departed, you go on a trip, and your existence continues, and you have guides to get you there. And this family of fish, tilapia, were one of your guides to get you to the sun, okay? To get you to the sun god. So if the Egyptians and the Africans, and of course Egypt is in African, if the South Africans and the Northern Africans, that being Egyptians, were familiar with this family of fish, that just lets you know there was nothing being lab generated. Again, tilapia is a family of fish, and not just that one fish that you see in your marketplace. Okay? All right, so that dispels one myth about tilapia. Well, stories about tilapia also go back to the Roman Empire, 1500 BC. BC meaning before Christ. 1500 BC. That is the time period that we also see tilapia being mentioned. Now, tilapia is often called the St. Peter's fish. And why is this? Because some Bible scholars believe that this is the fish that is the subject of the story of when Jesus fed the multitude of people, at least 5,000 men, 4,000 men, plus women and children. So easily, 10 to 15, maybe 30,000 people or more with 5 loaves and 2 fish, or 4 loaves and fish. It just, a lot of Bible scholars believe that this was the fish. And again, not necessarily that fish that you see in your market, but the family of fish, tilapia. All righty? All right. So tilapia, based in Africa, comes from Africa. History is in Africa. Tilapia has enough evidence behind it to prove that it is not a lab generated fish. Not a lab generated fish. So why are so many people cautious about eating tilapia? Well, that can be because this family of fish, the tilapia fish, this family of fish are so easily reproduced. They reproduce very, very easily, very, very quickly. They don't mind being overcrowded. And there's a third reason. They can live in any type of water. Now, most fish have to live either in fresh or salt water, but tilapia can live in any type of water. And there's research to support this as well. So the family of fish, tilapia, again, the family of fish, just want to keep emphasizing that. They reproduce very, very quickly. Their lifespan is not that long, maybe about 10 years or so. But in that 10 years, they're reproducing. And this makes it it makes it very, very profitable for those who are fish farmers. If you're on a fish farm and you want to see your crop of fish grow quickly, tilapia is a lot of farmers' choice in the fish field. Now, because they are so readily able to produce, they can be mass produced in numbers that would frighten a lot of people. They frighten a lot of people. And in this, why would farmers desire even to even make or cultivate such a fish in their area? Well, it's because of consumer supply and demand. As consumers, we are always demanding an affordable yet healthy product, and the family fish tilapia lends itself to that. Because they are able to reproduce so quickly, don't have a very long lifespan, able to live in waters anywhere, okay, and don't mind overcrowding. This makes them most ideal for farmers. Now, of course, there are concerns about genetic modification and farming techniques. Well, again, I'm only talking about the research that is available out there across many, many platforms, biologically, talking about scientifically, and other resources. Now, when it comes to genetic modification, yes, the government has approved a drug for the tilapia family of fish, methyl testosterone, that of course they say that is safe, and this drug has been approved for use with the tilapia fish. Now, what does this What does this hormone do? This hormone ensures that there are not too many female tilapia and not enough male. In fact, this hormone is able to ensure that there are male tilapia fish. Again, we're speaking of the family of fish. It ensures that there are enough male tilapia fish. They have approved this use. The FDA has approved this use for the fish, and a lot of people, knowing this, become very, very wary. Again, you have to read the research for yourself, make a decision for yourself. But this was the purpose. This is the purpose of the use of methyl testosterone. Okay, methyl testosterone. Of course, they do claim that it is safe, and this is the intended use. Well, because of the proliferation, that so much tilapia is being produced. Another nickname that is given to the tilapia family of fish is the aqua chicken of sorts. And this name you might also hear in not a necessarily derogatory way, but just so that you're aware that the tilapia fish is used in a variety of markets. If you think you're not eating tilapia, you probably are. And this genetic modification not only applies to tilapia, that family of fish, but applies to many, many other species of fish. Now, when we're talking about genetic modification of tilapia or any species, what are we speaking of? We are speaking of the modification of the original gene that is found in a species to make that species more of what the farmer or what the scientist desires to produce. A more beefier fish, a less bony fish, a less, I say beefier, well, a more muscular fish, or a less bony fish, or fish with longer fins. All of these can be genetic modifications. And there are companies that are at the forefront of their fields, making sure that this is something that is in use for the purposes of healthcare. And this is according to research that is readily available out there. That is according to that it helps ensure healthcare for human beings, as well as other reasons that they have decided to go along this path. Now, medically, would you know that you're eating a genetically modified fish? I don't believe so, and I can't find any research to support that you would know that you're eating a genetically modified anything. And that is because there are companies who, like I said, they're ahead of their field. They're in their field to make sure that the supply and demand of foods such as the family of tilapia are met. And in doing so, they would produce a product, this being the tilapia fish, that will be able to meet the demand. So yes, is tilapia genetically modified? It can be, but there are some pure forms of tilapia as well. There are some pure species of tilapia, and there are hybrid species of tilapia. Remember, tilapia is the family name for the fish, okay? Is the family name for the fish. So how would you know if you're eating a fish that is genetically modified or not? That would have to do with the labeling and the rules regarding labeling wherever you are. Now, if the labeling does not say that it is not genetically modified, I believe that it is safe to assume that it could be genetically modified. Unless the label specifically says that it is not, I believe it is safe to assume that it could be. Now, not just tilapia is genetically modified. So You have to think of other fish. Other fish are in this study as well. Salmon is genetically modified in some areas. Salmon and other fish. All right. So when it comes to genetic modification, if you desire to eat tilapia, or you think that you're going to skip all genetic modification by eliminating tilapia from your food fare, that's not necessarily the case. Like I said, there are companies who are at the forefront of their field, and who are able to produce more fish through modification. But there are two companies in particular I want to draw your attention to: Aqua Bounty Technologies Company, and in Textron in oh boy in now in Textron. Now it is called Precision, Precigene. I'm sorry, Precigeen. Precision. These are two companies that are exempt from from the regulations of genetically modified regulations. They are exempt from going through these genetically modified regulations produced by the government, only because, as the research says, only because that their tilapia is not developed using gene editing, or not using gene editing techniques, and it does not use any of the foreign DNA. Now, let me just try to explain that again. There are two companies that are out there: Aqua Bounty Technologies, working together with Textron, which is now Precision, Precigene. They are working together and to produce more tilapia, and I'm sure as well as other fish, but we're just speaking of tilapia here. And these two companies are exempt, according to the research that I was able to find, are exempt from the current regulations of genetic modification. Now, this is because these two companies have stated to the government and have proven to the government that their tilapia are not developed using gene editing techniques, and they do not contain any foreign DNA. Now, what is foreign DNA? Foreign DNA is taking the DNA of one species and putting it into another species. So their tilapia they are saying to the government, is not doing this. Therefore, they are exempt. The government has exempted them. How would you know if you're eating a product from Aqua Bounty Technologies and Precision? That might be in labeling, or it might be doing the research to find out what sources or what farms your particular fish are arriving from in your marketplace. That is the only clue that I could find in the research as to that. There are very, very few fish farms that I have found in research, and I have found that have purely not done anything with the fish in terms of modification, gene editing, or having hormones injected to the fish. It is very, very few out there, and it's only because of our consumer supply and demand. So as farms are more and more competitive, trying to get the consumer dollar out there, sometimes they feel that they must compete in ways that make it profitable for them. No one goes into business to fail. So, like I said, doing your own research. If you desire to eat the tilapia fish, or any fish for that matter, because they're all subject to all of these guidelines, all of these rules. If any fish that you would desire to eat, if you're uncertain if they would be falling, if they would fall under these guidelines or under these modifications or things such as that, how would you find out? Well, perhaps you could, like I said, look at the labeling, or go on your own research and track from where your fish has come to the marketplace. See which farms that the fish have come to the marketplace. Now, when it comes to fish farming, many fish are farmed. It is just an easier way. It's an easier way for fish to get to the marketplace. And is farming always good? Well, it depends. It really depends upon how clean the fish farms are, how well are they feeding the fish. And of course, fish should have a high vegetable diet, okay, because in their own natural habitat, they're eating the algae, they're eating the plants, they're eating what's out there. So you want any fish that is coming from a farm to have a well fed, a high vegetable diet, and not, if at all possible, any of the other negative entities, the additives that you think that would be harmful when you ingest the fish. Now, when it comes to fish farming, like I said, it depends upon how well the farm, how well they are maintaining their fish farm. Are they regularly cleaning the area where the fish are? And we have to admit, okay, gravity works in the air as well as in the water. Fish eat and they eliminate just like any other creature. They eat and they eliminate. So keeping their area clean, keeping that tank clean is paramount if you're going to get a healthy fish. Fish that eat their own waste is a fish that is not as healthy. And some resources, particularly one resource from FultonFishMarket.com. And Fulton Fish Market, and for those who live in the Chicago area, you know how very, very popular that fish market is. But FultonFishMarket.com cited that when the tank is not maintained, properly, it can lead to diseases as well as antibiotic resistance. So I did not dive deeper. That's something else that we can study in a later program about antibiotics being used with fish. But that one phrase alone just let me know that there is a possibility, although they did not say that antibiotics were used with fish. Please do not quote me on that. I did not say that, but their statement in that particular article stated that fish eating their own waste can lead to antibiotic resistance. All righty. So just farming has its benefits and it has its detriments. It all depends upon how well the farmer is maintaining the field, and this being the field of fish. Now, is tilapia a dangerous fish? Well, I don't consider, and this is, of course, everyone can have their own opinion. I don't consider it a dangerous fish, but it is, because of their ability to reproduce so quickly. It is on the list about being one of the most dangerous invasive species. And this is only because they are able to reproduce so quickly, and they can live in any type of water, and they don't mind overcrowding. So wherever they go, if their natural enemy, I'm talking about natural, not talking about man, I'm just talking about their natural enemy is not in the area, or is the balance, if the balance in their natural habitats are not controlled very, very carefully, then of course that fish species, as well as any other species, can become more and more invasive. And they are on the list. This is true. They are on the list for being one of the most invasive fish species that are out there. All righty. Now, who eats tilapia and who produces tilapia? Well, Everyone eats tilapia, and I mean everyone, and people on every continent, and every continent in every country eat tilapia. All righty. Now, tilapia is found in over 135 countries produce tilapia. China is the number one. China is the largest tilapia producer, and China, I believe, was the first country to genetically have a genetically modified fish. But I do believe that's the research that I read as I was preparing for this program. As I said, 135 countries, including the USA, produce farm-raised tilapia. 135 countries. China is number one, followed by Egypt, the country Egypt, located in Africa, in a close second. And they produce at least 50% of all tilapia supplied out there. Okay? Now, tilapia, of course, like you said, we have already dispelled the myth that it is a lab-generated fish. So tilapia in its natural habitats, what is tilapia? How is tilapia beneficial? In the tropical regions, tilapia is used to control algae. It's used to control the duckweeds and other pond-dwelling plants. This seems very, very natural for something for the tilapia to do, as they would eat a more vegetarian food fare. They're in their natural habitat. And in the country of Brazil, tilapia skin is being used and being tested to see of its healing properties in dealing with burns. Yes, putting the fish skin, the tilapia skin, on top of the burn seems to be research that is in use right now for the healing of burns on the human body. And that's interesting. That is interesting news right there. Should you eat tilapia? Should you eat tilapia? Of course, of course. If you choose to eat tilapia, I have no problem with that, and no one else should either. It is your decision whether you should eat tilapia, the family of fish, or whether you should not. I hope this information regarding this most controversial fish has been helpful. I hope that it has expanded your knowledge on tilapia, and it can help you make a better decision about that fish, about that family of fishes, and not just that one species that you see in your marketplace. Well, that's all I have for you today, guys. And like I said, tilapia, we dispelled a lot of the myths through research, just diving deeper into this topic of tilapia. It is, just for a quick review, tilapia is from the continent of Africa, okay? Its name is a family name describing hundreds of species of fish, all righty? It's from the cichlid family, and the South Africans from Botswana, okay, have named it tilapia, okay? From the Latin tilape, meaning fish. So tilapia is not that frankenfish. And that's another term that a lot of people describe tilapia as. It's not that frankenfish that was test tube born and raised. It is a fish that is naturally occurring, that has been out since 1,500 years before Christ in ancient Egypt, in Africa, hails from Africa, historically in Africa, and it has the healthful benefits that all fish have. All right, now tilapia, as well as other fish, there are pure species and there are many, many hybrid species. There are companies that are involved in the research for genetic modification of fish, and I just named two two companies that the government have exempted from that being Aqua Bounty and Precision. Now, as like I said, there is research to support everything that I have said. If you would like to have the resources, you can always direct message me. But FultonFishMarket.com, FultonFishMarket.com, and of course your resources from Fact Retriever, FactRetriever.com, and of course Aqua Bounty Technologies and Precision. You can find all of this research there regarding the fish tilapia. It is, of course, up to you whether you choose to eat the protein that's available and the nutrients that are in this fish or not, but just be a better informed individual. Well, next time we will talk about another controversial fish that is out there on more fishy facts. And I hope to see you then. Again, if you would like to join our private Eat What group, you may direct message me at Beverly Sherelle Johnson. Contact me through email at betterlivingwithplants@gmail.com. All right, guys, I thank you, and we'll be live again next week. Just want to show everybody what we're doing here at Eat What. Hope you join us so we can learn more about the foods that are available to us so that we can look good, feel good, have a better outlook on life, build our immunity and our overall health. Until next time, I'm Beverly Sherelle Johnson from Eat What. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.